so bad. What can we do? Can we have an open practice? Do you think that would do anything? Could we generate anything? And I said, yeah, you could. And checked with Rupp Arena. They have been so accommodating. I can't begin to tell you. Basically, we want to be a part of this, so they're partners. Red Cross then called me to say, will you host? We got Joe and Kelly, you've hosted before, Kraft, you've hosted with them before, we'd like you to host. And I said, well, if we're going to do that, and we cannot do it on this campus, why don't we do it in Rupp? We already got Rupp Arena. We all got together yesterday at noon. LEX, who's our partner, and within an hour and a half, we did everything the way they wanted it. It helps what Red Cross is going to do. Got some other things involved. I've done 6 telethons. Our program has done 6 telethons with American Red Cross. My guess is over 11 or 12 million is what we've raised in that time. The reason I was like, you want me to host with Joe and Kelly, it's easy. They've been great supporters, but not only of us, Moorhead in the state. So that made it easy. This is together in 2 days. So this is not, okay, we had a month to do this. And I still think it's going to be a home run because of what they chose to do. And let me say this. When you coach, you try to give the player something, and then you get to see it on the court, and you see them succeed, and it puts a smile on their face. Nothing feels better, except off the court when you're trying to give them stuff that they can live with the rest of their lives. You guys understand the kind heart that I've been here a long time in servant leadership. Be about each other, be about others, use your blessings to pass those along. And when they came to me, this is servant leadership in action. And that's why I said, you know, this is a big deal. And for me, it was just like, you know what? The other way is, they'll know, you know, we always brag about the other team. If we beat them, we give them respect, we do it. And when I read their comments in the newspapers, and I see they're respectful of the opponent, even though they're vicious in trying to beat them, they're respectful when the game ends. It shows me that we're getting through. I see their comments. This shows me we're getting through. We're having a special t-shirt made. The t-shirt is going to have their caricatures, all the players on this t-shirt with this a saying. You're going to be able to go online and get it. People that are coming to the arena, we'll be throwing some of them out. We don't have all the shirts made, but we have a certain number that we can do that. The poster that we gave away with all the former players on the tour, we have that there. The other thing I asked Rupp Arena, because it's not going to rain, but it's going to be hot. And when we went on the tour, there were thousands of people in line. First one would come up and I'd say, how long were you waiting? Might have been an older woman or man, 6 hours. Wait a minute now. What are you gonna do if it's hot and they come for 5 and 6 hours? You gotta have water out there. You gotta let them come in. You gotta do Disney inside so that we prepared for this, and they have been unbelievable. We're going to have these signed balls. Now, understand, name, image, and likeness, what are the players allowed to do with these balls now? Say it? These guys here don't follow things. So, they're allowed to sell these balls and do what with the money? Keep it. So, they're willing to do this, and all the money is going to go to the flood victims. So right now, we've all signed 100 already. Now they're going to be, you give X amount of dollars, you can get a ball. That'll be talked about tomorrow. Right now, they said, let's sign 100. It's hard signing 100 balls now. And if we can sell more, we will. And all that money is going to go to East Kentucky. We're going to have a really big time announcement at the arena. So if you want to be the first to hear it, it's going to be, you'll be excited. It's a big time announcement. We gave out 20,000 pairs of shoes to the tornado victims. Our plan is to do the same here, give out 20,000 pair of shoes. And probably at some point when they come back for school, we'll go down and do some of the things we do with Samaritan's Feet, where we're washing feet and giving out shoes and doing the stuff that we've done here in the past. Obviously, this is not the first time I've been here in my, how many, 13 years, and I've probably been around the state enough to run for something. So, but this is driven by them, which really, really makes me happy. So ask me some questions, I'll answer some questions, and I'll leave and you can spend time with these two.
You mentioned and tweeted about this, the player-driven aspect of this. Has that been the case at all in the past, or is this just to a much larger degree this time?
They always want to know, what are you doing, coach? Because they know I would do something. And what are you going to have us do? This was totally different. This kind of got me like, what? And the reason it's flipped so fast is because they came to me. And so their part of it was practice, Rupp Arena, how do we do this? And again, the building, it's an open practice. You can come. We'd like you to give a donation, but look, it's kind of like the Bahamas trip right now. The rooms are $320 a night at a resort that's really nice. But $320, somebody says $3,000 a night, they're not telling the truth. Okay, they just are not telling the truth. How do I know? Because I was getting a haircut and the guy said, yeah, I heard it's $2,000 a night. What? So I had to call to make sure it wasn't. I didn't know, I'm not looking at room rates, but it isn't. Everything we do is for our fans, how we do it. We understand by doing this to the Bahamas, they can go. Now, it's a smaller venue, so it's going to be sold out, but it's a smaller venue. We have more boosters traveling with us than any of the other 2 trips that we made. So this, they knew we were going to do something. They came to me before I came to them, which is, that's why I feel so good. Like, you know, you want to know, am I getting through when I talk kind heart? That it takes you 5 seconds to make somebody's month. Don't walk away, don't sign, spend time, ask them where they're from. You've been blessed to be in this position, to wear this uniform, to be a part of this. So that made it different.
It's great that you're doing this. How can we help?
Just get the word out. The biggest thing I want to see is for East Kentucky, who right now, there are 14 counties and 3 cities under state of emergency. That's what we have. They don't have phone service. So my guess is it's hard for them to even watch what we're doing or saying. But what I'd hope by Tuesday, if they turn on the TV, if they're in one of the shelters, and again, let me stop, and then you're gonna have to remind me, as I get older, I forget my train of thought. But what we're doing this for, and what we've always done in these situations, immediate help. Shelter, food, water, medicine. The long-term stuff is the government. Now, maybe we go back in with immediate help. But the long-term of this, the infrastructure, it wiped out roads, wiped out total cities. What we're doing is not going to change that, but it's that stuff that we're trying to do. But they're in shelters. What I would hope is they turn on a TV and see Rupp Arena, and they're like, wow, these people care. And this state is that way. You know, I'm not calling all my buddies like I have in the past because I just did it. I just did it. So I'm going to give, and I'm hoping, and we'll recommend, can you do it? And I'm hoping in our state, and our state always comes through. One of the things, and I even haven't told these guys, we are going to have the base or the bleachers back a little bit. You do understand why. We're leaving to go to the Bahamas, and I want to make sure we stay safe before we take that trip. So that's going to take away some of the seating. But what I hope is people come in and we'll have video, you have, you know, hopefully cheer, dance. I want to really make sure our women's program is there. I told Coach Elsie, bring that trophy. You won the SEC tournament championship. Go back, walk on that court and show them with your team. So they've had 3 players affected by this. So this hits home with them. And you know, you want, again, I've done a bunch of these, and nothing more rewarding. And again, like I said, you can't do these alone. And the support that the infrastructure of Red Cross, what Joe and Kelly will pull together, will pull together, and you put it all like that, and it becomes significant. Yes.
John, you've coached for a long time, and I'm sure you've heard people say things like, well, kids today don't appreciate blah, blah, blah. What does that say to you when these guys come to you and say, what can we do?
Let's just talk about this ball, okay? What if this ball, and there's 200 of them, or more, whatever we do, I'm just gonna throw out a number, it's $20,000. If they split that 10 ways, what would each of them get? $20,000. That's what they're giving young people who don't have $20,000, are willing to say, we are allowed to do this with name, image, and likeness and make money. And we're saying we're gonna do this and give the money. That's a big, I mean, it's saying what they're about. It's saying one of the core principles, what we teach here. Yeah, our kids get better at basketball, and yeah, they've gone on to great things and all that, but they've all left here with a sense of, how do I use what's happening for me to do stuff for other people?
What are your emotions when you see the pictures?
I mean, the worst was the mother and father where it came up and the kids were, the governor called me and told me he stood in the ground where they lost their kids and he was there. And I'm like, you know, I was asked, you know, Kelly wants me to go to, I'm the worst at funerals, and let me say this, we're having that memorial, that celebration for Mike Pratt on August 5th. And they want me to speak, and I've been working on it for a week because I don't want to have something in there that I stop and start tearing up and crying. I'm not good going to hospitals. I do it, but I'm not, and that's not my makeup. But when I watch it, that's why they came to me, they watched it. I said, wait a minute, what do we do? People on roofs being rescued by helicopters? How about whole towns wiped out? I mean, it's like the tornado. It goes and wipes out these 7 houses, but these 2 are left alone. How? And so we all know the devastation. We're in a position, this basketball program, we understand what it means to the state. This program and what it means to the athletic department and how we project what we are. We don't take it lightly. And everybody, including me, has benefited by being in this program, being the basketball school, being that. We all benefit by it. And now it's anytime, and it's not just this time, anytime we can help, we're gonna do what we can.
You mentioned having just done this. How does it feel to not even be a full calendar year for something you shouldn't have to do twice in 25 years?
I mean, you know, my feelings are, what if it were me? What if that flood hit Louisville and wiped that out? Now we're talking 500,000 people. Or it went up to northern Kentucky, the tornadoes, and hit there and hits 1 million people. I mean, and then you're saying, well, it's not you, but it is our brothers and sisters from our state. And it always seems that the people that can least afford it are getting hit by this stuff, which is why we all got to step up and say, what can I do, even if it's little? That when we went on the tour, we raised about 50,000, and I'm telling you, people had to go through, and some of them were given dollars and fives, and some people went back and got 20s, and I knew, like, I can get by, I just won't drive around, but I'm giving 25. And I mean, it's amazing how generous this state is. even with gas prices, with inflation, with all this stuff we're all dealing with, they always seem to come through. So my thoughts aren't with me, it's with them. And you know, how it happened, it's unfortunate. 4 months or three, how many, what is it, 3 months? Since 6 months?